Hey guys, give me a second. I'll be right there. Okay. Let me take off this banner because we are starting now. Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Sharon, the Accidental Art Maker, here on a Tuesday evening from the Pacific Northwest. Thanks for joining me tonight. If you don't know me, my name is Sharon. I own the Accidental Art Maker, which is a website which sells art supplies, mostly ironwork design stuff. So that is my heart and passion. Been using it for many years. I've been upcycling and flipping furniture for about 8 years now. So I thought I would start out tonight. I wanted to share with you this piece I was supposed to start painting yesterday, but she's been very high maintenance. So I thought it would be fun just to kind of share with you some of the ups and downs when you're taking on larger pieces of furniture. If you're moving from something small like a jewelry box, like a nightstand, there's some things you should take into consideration as you're getting started. And so I thought I would take you guys through that, and then I'm going to put on the first brushes of paint on tonight. I'm super excited to do that. And I just thought I would share the experience with you. So without much further ado, I'm going to flip the camera around and introduce you to Maxie. You may want to know, why did I name her Maxie? Well, that's because when I got her, she was really waxy. So this is Maxie right here. Give me a second here to get my camera straight. She's this beautiful piece. And I've discovered a lot of things about her. You see me here. I've discovered a lot of things about her yesterday when I started to prep her. The first was that she was coated in wax, and the top part up here, I'll show you pictures in a second. The top part, the veneer was coming off. And I usually like to do like really low maintenance pieces. Like, let me flip this around right here. So that orange cabinet right there, I barely had to do, I had to clean it. And I had to fix the magnets on the door so it shuts all the way. I had to do a little sanding. But besides that, it was pretty much just ready to go. And that's pretty much how I tend to enjoy my pieces. But apparently the art universe thinks that I am ready for a little bit of a challenge when it comes to learning how to do prep work. So lots of times you will see stockists and other flippers come on and say, well, I prepped it and now we're going to start painting. There can be a lot of work that goes into that. I'm going to share some videos with you here. So excuse me while I bend over and add to the top. So this first one right here, this is what the top looked like when I first got it. So it was peeling up, and I was using my handy dandy little paint stripper tool, as you can see there, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So I YouTubed a bunch of different ideas on how to fix this. And there, look, I got a little piece right there. And then I came up, let's see, with this right here. So I soaked towels, put it down on top, let it soak for about 2 hours, and then I used an iron with heat. But if anybody wants to see that, you can see here how easily the veneer came up after that. So that was very handy. And then last but not least, I also mentioned very, very waxy. And I was looking into chemicals and stuff like that to use it. I ended up just using a spoon, plastic spoon was the easiest thing for me to do to get the wax off. And that the wax removal there took me almost 2 hours. So the thought that went through my head yesterday was either a pagan or a Catholic owned this just in the past because there was so much candle wax on it. So she's quite beautiful on the outside. Oh, let me show you the top now. I got all that stripped off. I still have to seal this before I put paint on it, but that was a lot of work. And then getting all of the wax off, so like the wax had dripped down into all of these cracks right here. It was a mess, like the never-ending wax. So let me show you. So she's very pretty on the outside. Let me put my camera down here, and I'm going to show you the inside. So this is the inside right here, and just some beautiful doors. Just there's some wonderful opportunity here for transfers. So on the outside and the inside. So what I'm going into this picturing is a few different colors. I'm starting out with my one of my favorites, which is Annie Sloan Chalk Paint Florence. And I'm going to paint the whole thing in Florence first. But I do know for sure that these panels right here will be a lighter color, and I'm going to be putting a transfers on it. I'm not sure which ones yet, but definitely something floral for sure right here. And then these moldings right here, how can I paint those to accentuate the color of the paint on the inside and the flowers that I end up using? And then same down here. And then I don't know if you can tell up here, but I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer. But up here, there's this really beautiful trim up here also. And then there's this boo-boo right here I'm going to fix with you guys watching. When I opened up the cabinet doors earlier, trying to get an idea of what was going on the inside, I found a piece of wood that had broken off. So I totally lucked out there. So I'm going to glue that on while we're talking. I'm going to take off this hardware right here. So this one was damaged. My guess was it got stuck or something, and this little metal doodad that wasn't here got pulled off. So I'm going to take these off, and I'll probably be finding new hardware for these. But I do like the metal tassel look. It goes really well with this. So that's what's in my mind as I'm getting started here, looking at this piece and trying to figure out what to do, how to start with her. It used to be, if you can see inside here, it was an old radio cabinet. There's a label on the inside saying it's a Majestic Model 91 and 92. Somebody removed the radio, obviously, and they put in cardboard shells in here, and this has a nice texture here. Whatever color I paint on the outside, in this area right here, I'm definitely going to be painting on the inside in here and carry over the flower theme somehow. So that's kind of my basic approach to getting this going. So stick around. I'm going to take about a few minutes to take the knobs off and glue this on, and then I'm just going to get painting and talking. As you join in, please let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have any questions about painting large pieces. This is not really large. This to me is like a medium size. The orange cabinet, whose name is Marcleen, that to me is large. That took a lot of time, and I loved it. I had so much fun painting this piece right here. So that's like a TV cabinet, and I painted it a blend of orange, red, and yellow. And then I used Bohemia stamp, and then I used Morocco inlay on top of that. And the inside's really beautiful too, but I will not open that for you right now. Okay, so let's get going right here. Like I was saying, if you have any questions, let me know. Want to say hi? I have a couple of people who like to drop in and say hi. Please say hi. I'm looking forward to getting this started with you. Okay, so first things first, let me set up the camera again so it's a little bit better. I want to focus on this area, not my boobs, this area right up here. So I've got this piece of wood that chipped off of it. And if you enjoy iron orchid design products, you probably have heard of Type Bond before. So I'm going to just be using a little bit of Type Bond. I'm so glad, because originally I was going to use this wood filler and try it with wood filler, but I found I haven't used wood filler before. I find it a little bit intimidating. So that's probably something else that's on my list this summer to get over with. So I'm just taking a little bit of glue across the way here. Spread it around. Spread it around my fingertip. I'm so happy I do not have to recreate this corner. You guys have no idea. Okay, and this is just going to get so happy that this is here. So some of the glue is coming out. I'm going to grab a baby wipe and just wipe away the excess glue on the outside. And voila. That will dry. There might be a little bit of a crack there, but it's going to be just fine. Okay, so next up on our list, is are these handles, these little handles right here. I'm just going to take these off. You should, if you're dealing with hardware when you're working with pieces, and you just want to do a quick job, and you like the hardware, you can cover it up with blue tape. You can paint over it. You can take them off and shine them up a little bit with Bartender's Friend. There's a bunch of options when you're working with hardware. I have found hardware, people are very opinionated about it. Well, this isn't coming up, why not? Okay, I'm just gonna pull this out, it's like nailed in there. All right, there's one down. We got a little hole there. I'm gonna probably cover that up with a little bit of blue paint tape. I see now. All right. Of course. See, best laid plans, right? Oh, there's the screw right down there. Okay. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Very important. Okay. I'm going to pull this out. Carefully so I don't mess up the wood. And it doesn't want to come up. Now I'm moving into the not so careful world. Come on. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break here. We got some comments coming in. Oh, it's Amanda. Hi, Amanda, neighbor. I don't know if you saw, I answered your question about top coats. And then we've got Rana. Hello, Rana. Yes, I like to see what I do with it too. I always start off with some really big ideas of what I want to do. And then I always, most of the time, as I'm working on the piece, it tends to change a little bit. because I don't know, it probably sounds funny, but the pieces kind of start to talk to me, and we get into this conversation and they develop these personalities, and then next thing I know, they have a name. And so yesterday with this one, it was definitely, I was like, you're Waxy. And then she's like, no, I'm Maxie. And I was like, all right, hello, Maxie. Nice to meet you. All right, so I've got Annie Sloan Florence here, and I'm going to take this comment off here. I've got a brush all set up. I like to dip it into water or spray in between, and I'm just going to go to town. Actually, I'm going to do one little thing first. I said I was going to do. There's these two little holes right here. I do want to paint over them. So I'm taking two little pieces of tape, and I'm just going to cover that up just a little bit. I'm pretty sure whatever kind of knob I get will cover this, where the little glue tape is right there. Okay, now I'm going to paint. Oh, you got your order, Rana? Oh, that's right. I think I saw you post about it this morning on Facebook. So awesome. All right, so let's start painting. All right. So I got a paper plate here. Got my paint on it. Just giving it a little bit of a mix. It's been kind of sitting in that FIFO, however you pronounce it, container for a while. I shook it, but it still looked a little bit mixed up. So I'm just gonna go for it. And here we go. Now, if you're the kind of person where you're like horrified that I'm painting over wood, this wood is not in good shape. This radio cabinet has seen a few radio shows. It's been around the block. It was it probably was somebody's proud family. You know, I can see a family gathered around this, listening to their radio shows, what, back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And then I don't know what happened to it, but this poor thing needs another breath of life into her. But she's been banged up and scratched and scarred. So what can we do to help her out, people? We're gonna paint her. We're gonna make her beautiful. Somebody's gonna see her and they're gonna fall in love with good old Maxie. See, these are the stories I tell myself inside my head. So yeah, Amanda, I love the FIFO bottle. Is it FIFO or FIFO? I don't know. All right, I gotta pay attention a little bit here. So one of my tendencies is to press down really hard when I'm painting. You don't really need to do that. A gentle touch is fine. I think it's just like the German in me. I'm like, get in there. All right. I'm getting around these cracks right here. Get up in there. I just put my brush in there. So my plan this summer, Amanda and I are close. We're neighbors. We live in the same area. And at the end of every August, there is an antique and vintage fair festival. So my challenge to I was participated in it last summer. My challenge this summer is to get, how many more pieces do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got like 5 more pieces after Maxie that I need to get done before the end of August. So what I'm hoping to do is jump on here and do a bunch of lives with you, and for people who are not in the area, kind of take you through the process of hustling to get some artwork done while still enjoying the process, as well as the outcome of what your painted piece looks like. If you guys have any questions for me at all about painting or doing large pieces, sorry, there's a bunch of mosquitoes in here. just let me know, because if I don't know the answer, I'll get the answer to you. I started painting and upcycling furniture about 8 years ago now. I had an old bureau from my single days in San Francisco from a place called Busman for Bargains. And it was a good piece, but it was a little bit boring. And I painted it with Annie Sloan chalk paint and put a couple of stencils on it. And I was hooked. So Rona wants to know, what kind of paint am I using? Oh, I'm using Annie Sloan chalk paint, and it's the color Florence. I watered it down. I have water in my brush. Rona, I'm not really sure like too much about like what you're into actually, if you don't mind sharing with everybody here. Are you painting furniture? Are you painting canvas? Are you just find objects on the side of the road and go for it? What are you into doing? Curious, if you don't mind sharing. If you don't want to share, it's okay. I have guesses about people, like from their orders, what they do, and but you know, they're just kind of guesses. When people order lots of molds, I'm assuming they're doing big pieces of furniture. And transfers, I figure anything from a flower pot to something like this to bigger things. So this will be my first coat. And one of the things I like to do when I'm painting the first coat is to pay attention to the way the paint is going down. And it's like this has a lot of, I'm gonna move you guys in a little bit closer so you can see better. Let's see here. Oh, so Rona, when I prepped this yesterday, I did a couple of tests to see about bleed through, and I don't think it's going to bleed through. I could be wrong. I could come out tomorrow morning and see some stain pop through, but I don't think it's going to bleed through. I think it's going to be okay. I was thinking about putting a coat of shellac on it. It was very dirty. I took off a lot of dirt yesterday. Sometimes I'll sand things, sometimes I won't. I'm a little bit too impatient with this piece right now to sand it. I might pay for that later, or I might not, we'll see. Okay. So I know like when I come back, I will definitely be using smaller brushes for the details in here, and I'll probably paint like this panel and this panel and this one a different color than this Florence, and a different color than that panel right there, something that will really pop out. All right, now we're gonna move on to the other side here. You guys see that okay? Yeah, I've only had one piece ever bleed through on Annie Sloan chalk paint with me. And ironically, that was my old bedroom furniture that I had painted white. And it bled right through. It was this really pretty pink color, and I pretended it was on purpose. And then I gave the bed away. Let's see here. Amanda, will you be in the Vintage Fair and Art Festival this summer? Lots of nooks and crannies in here. I'm just kind of getting my brush in. That's good. Guys, in a little bit closer here. Yeah, I was more worried about the wax than I was about the gonna bleed through. I was worried I would miss some wax. Let's see. This is the problem, right? You take off the, oh, not there we go. I want to be able to sure I get into these right here. The Annie Sloan chalk paint is always done really well by me. Also in the past, I haven't been, I think as I have watched other stockists over the last couple of years, I've learned and picked up a lot along the way. In the past, there might have been more experimenting where, and I still experiment now, but like, if I painted over a scratch and the scratch still showed, I didn't really care. So I start to care about things like that now, and I am selling these. So I do want these pieces to be, have a very nice curbside appeal as people walk by them. All right, let's see here. Pull back a little bit. Jump in front of the camera. Rona says, I understand. Oh, Rona says, off topic, but I'm a full Norwegian. I love blues. Okay. I usually love the pinks, and I've never been a pink person, but like the Annie Sloan Capri pink and the, what's her, she has a Scandinavian pink that I really like a lot too. I was going to paint this Napoleon blue. So if you're familiar with the Annie Sloan chalk line, I was thinking about starting off with that, but then I thought it's going to be too dark. And I'd rather start somewhere kind of like this in the middle and either go dark or go light on the highs and the lows on the piece right here. Okay, mosquitoes in my area, they're like flying turkey vampires. They are crazy this time. I've never seen them so bad before. So if you see me like waving my hands or making funny noises, it's because I'm trying to get a mosquito off of me. Amanda says, I did apply for it, but you should totally do it, Amanda. If you have like 10 pieces, 10 big pieces like this, or if you've got like 6 big pieces and a bunch of smalls, it's so much fun. It's totally validating as an artist. It does take a lot of energy. Like the day that I did it last year, I was so wiped out. But it was also kind of like a bucket list dream come true for me because I love that. I love this fair that I'm talking about, the art fair. But I have a day job, and so I need to balance out my life. And so I have my day job where I'm a project manager on software projects, and then I own Accidental Art Maker, where I take your orders and pack them up and send them out after my day job is over. And then I paint things. Last year and this year were the first two, they're like the first years where I'm really hustling because I have a deadline and I want to have enough work done to sell. In the past, I've just sold on Facebook Marketplace or actually even given it away like on Buy Nothing. Okay, how's this looking? Yeah, mosquitoes are awful. I'm gonna have a bunch of bites after this. They're like coming in and they want to get on the live show here. Right. I'm going to point the camera down so you can see me painting down here. Getting these nooks and crannies. Just kind of shove my brush in there. Okay. I don't want to paint inside just yet. Leave that alone. That worked. Get down in here. Sorry, I didn't realize my paint was in front of the camera lens. All right, let me, I'm gonna lower the camera just a little bit here. You guys can get a better eye level view of this trim down here. This is the kind of piece where I could really spend so much time on just painting because of all the details in here. If I want to meet my deadline, I might not be able to do that. And usually the pieces that I procrastinate on the longest and sit around and think about are usually my best pieces. And I don't know, like, oh, I was kind of semi-complaining about the prep work earlier on this piece, but it really helped me get to know the piece a little bit and think about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to approach painting her. Yeah, the details are beautiful. There's just so much going on here. Okay, see you later, Mona. Have fun. If I'm moving your daughter, that's gotta be a little bit sad. Okay, I shouldn't be laughing. My daughter's college age now too. She's not going away this year. Well, this upcoming school year, she'll be commuting to a local school, which I am happy about because kind of a rough place for a young woman to be moving away from home right now. All right, let's get this in here. Okay. Let's pour on a little bit more paint. Move this over here so you guys can see it. Now my brush is nice and soaked. And so what I do is when my brush is soaked like that, I start off on the leftover paint, which is a little bit drier, and just kind of move my paintbrush around in it and then add in a little bit more of the paint here from that I just squirted out. It could still be a little bit drippy. I don't know if you guys can see that drip right there. I don't want it drippy too much like that because it will drip on my piece. I'm gonna finish up these little areas on the left and right hand side, and then I'm gonna sign off with you guys. So if you have any questions, now we're on the replay, let me know because I will come back and answer them. I always like seeing what you guys gotta say and what you're thinking. Also, if you have any ideas for what transfer you think would go perfectly, love to hear that too. I was thinking Wander. I love Wander. Could be very pretty on here. Wander is like a very silly transfer to me. Like they're just like silly flowers. And that probably sounds weird, but that's what I think about Wander. All right, let's get this little side over here too. I'm gonna let this dry tonight. Tomorrow I'm gonna come in and put a top coat on the very top where I peeled off all that stuff. And put Florence on top also. The top could also use some transfer, could also use a transfer. I also like Botanist Journal. I haven't used, what is, starts with an A, I should know this. But there's another transfer I was thinking about this, it's also all flowers. Not Botanist Journal, I don't know. It'll come to me. It'll come to me as soon as I turn off the camera. But this is what you get at the end of the day after I've worked. I'm not used to thinking while I'm painting, just kind of tuning out and getting into the piece. All right. All right, people. I'm calling that a show. Like I said, I'm going to turn this around right here. If you all have any questions, comments, if you're curious about Iron Orchid Slime, let me know. I am not a hard pitch salesperson. I believe in attraction, not promotion. So hopefully you'll see that here as I'm painting this piece. You'll just kind of see the love coming out for the art I work on. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you guys through your mission of creating and enjoying it and really feeling like it's an outlet that brings you a lot of joy and happiness, or perhaps lets you kind of cut loose some sadness or grief that you may be experiencing. You know, that's today's world. So some of my best pieces have been grief pieces, let me tell you. All right, I'll tell you one quick story. One of my favorite pieces was called The Bureau of Lies, because my now ex-husband quickly had to move out of the house after I found out that once again he had been unfaithful, and he moved out really fast. I won't go into too much detail there, but he left behind this bureau, and inside the bureau I found a bunch of stuff that confirmed my decision of him moving out was the best thing ever, the best decision ever to make. And basically it's where he knew I would not, while he was living here at least, he knew I would not go in and intrude upon his privacy and go into his bureau and look at his stuff. Like, that's not who I am. But after he left, I sure did. And I found so much crazy SHIT in there. And I'm smiling about it now, but at the time I was heartbroken and devastated. And so I decided I emptied out the bureau, and I decided I was going to call it the Bureau of Lies, and I was going to paint it into the Bureau of Lies. And I painted a bunch of peacocks onto it, because peacocks, the males especially, like to strut around and show off their feathers and look all colorful and come look at me, ladies, kind of thing. And so I thought peacocks were appropriate, and that sold right away for $500. It was amazing. It was great. So anyways, I forget why I went off on that tangent to tell you that story, but I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, grief. Yes, I was very upset at the time, and I really needed being able to kind of like cut loose and let that out of my system and think about the lies that were contained inside the bureau. I totally flipped that piece. Like, it was beautiful when I was done with it. Nobody really knew the story except for me. And it went off to a new life, and so did I. So anyways, now I'm going to wrap up for the night. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. It was nice hanging out with you, and I hope to see you on my next live. Bye.